Hello learners, welcome to this video lesson. Today we are going to discuss another new topic, that is on educational philosophy of Jean-Jacques Rousseau 1712 to 1778. Before starting our discussion, let me to introduce myself. I Dr. Niradhar De, Associate Professor, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video lesson. Friends, as you know, presently we are in the 8th module of your course. You all know that this video lesson is from your course BESC 131. Course title is Education, Concept, Nature and Perspectives. In this course, the title of 8th module is Contribution of Western Philosophers. In this module, 4 important lessons are there. That is educational philosophy of Plato. We have already discussed this lesson. Then the second important lesson is Jean-Jacques Rousseau, that today we are going to discuss. And the third lesson is educational philosophy of John Dewey. And fourth lesson is Immanuel Kant. Further, we will be discussing the third and fourth lesson of this module. Now, let us focus upon the second lesson, that is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Before starting our discussion, let me to focus upon some of the important learning outcomes, and I am very much hopeful that after going through this video lesson as well as the content which is given in your self-learning material, you will be able to explain educational philosophy of Rousseau. You will be able to analyze educational philosophy of Rousseau on the following aspects, just like as per Rousseau, what is the aims of education, what is the concept of negative education, as per Rousseau, what should be the curriculum and methods of teaching, what should be the role of teacher, at the same time what is the concept of Rousseau, especially on women education. So, these are the certain important aspects we will be discussing today on educational philosophy of Rousseau. Further, after going through this video lesson, you will be able to critically analyze Rousseau's contribution to education, and at the present education system, what is the relevance of the concept of education given by Rousseau. Now, let us go forward to understand Rousseau's philosophy and ideas on life. Here you see the definition which is given by Rousseau, just like everything is good as it comes from the hands of the author of nature, but everything degenerates in the hands of man. Try to understand. Jean-Jacques Rousseau is considered as one of the naturalistic philosopher, naturalistic schools of thought philosopher. So, that is why in his every creation, in his thought process, in his ideas, it may be related to philosophy, it may be related to his ideas on education. He has given importance upon the nature. He has given importance upon the individual child's own ability. That means when they come contact with the natural atmosphere, with the natural environment, they learn many things. So, that is why hardly there is no need of any teacher, you can say. Okay, the role of teacher is different. So, that is why he says that everything is good as it comes from the hands of the author of the nature, but everything degenerates in the hands of the man. That means we the individual, we the person, we degenerates the things, but the natural thing that which is given by the God, which is given by you can say the supreme soul, that is a type of truth. So, that is why education is possible, learning is possible when the individual child come contact directly with the nature. And friends, as per Rousseau, you will also find that many Indian educationists and Indian philosophers, you can take the example of Rabindranath Tagore. He has also given importance upon the natural environment, the nature. Okay, and if you will go through the structure, and if you will go through the functioning of Shantiniketan, that is the Vishwa Bharati, It starts from you can say kindergarten education to the higher education to the university education. You will find that their curriculum, how they have blended their curriculum to provide experience to the learners about the natural processes of growth and development is concerned. Okay, so that's why friends, here Rousseau has given importance of nature, and according to his philosophy, he has given importance to the natural environment and the things which is happening within our surrounding. And when the child come contact with the surrounding, with different situation, with the natural environment, they will automatically learn. Further, these are some of the important creation of Rousseau, or you can say that these are some of the important books that has been written by Rousseau. And if you will go through these books, definitely you will find that his philosophy of life, at the same time his educational philosophy, his concept on education, his concept on schooling, his concept on curriculum, definitely you will find from this book creation of Rousseau. Just like discourse on the arts and sciences, further discourse on the origin of inequality. So, what is the concept of inequality and where is the origin of the inequality? These are the very substantial creation of Rousseau. Being a student of education, you should go through this literature. Now these documents are available online also. You can access it and you can go through it as suggested reading materials. And further, the other creation of Rousseau, just like the new Heloise, then on the social contract, then Emile. Okay, Emile is just like a symbolic child who has developed himself in the natural environment, and he has experienced that how the things are happening and how the child is grooming in the natural environment and how the child is experiencing new things, then accordingly practicing in his or her life. So, Emile is a symbolic child, and he has Rousseau has mentioned his educational philosophy, his concept of education and curriculum in this book in Emile. So, these are the some of the important book creation of Rousseau. And further, so far as concept of education as per Rousseau is concerned, he has given importance on the complete freedom to the child. So, child in our education system, in our education process, child should be given complete freedom. Okay. So, they should work as per their creativity. So, there shouldn't be any boundary in their thought process, in their ideas, and whenever they are getting any ideas, they should get the freedom to work on their ideas. And further, no imposed physical punishment should be there on the child. Then follow the natural laws or the natural rules is also another concept of education as per Rousseau. Nature is everything. Nature teaches us everything. Okay, so that's why he is the strong believer on the nature. So that's why for the natural development of the human child, his slogan is follow the natural laws and follow the nature. And for the naturally possessed fine character. So when the child come contact with the nature, they also develop a right character for their own living. Further, if I will focus upon aims of education as given by Rousseau, he has given importance on or he has given emphasis on natural activities of the child. So, how to engage the child in different natural activities? It may be different types of play, it may be different type of group activities, a type of brainstorming, brainstorming with certain ideas. Okay, and many a time the teacher should provide opportunity to the children, scope to the children to mingle with the natural environment, to play with the natural environment and to interact themselves with the natural environment. Friends, nature is the teacher. Okay, so here nature will teach the child. So that's why as per his aims of education is concerned, he has given emphasis on natural activities of the child. Further, child as the center of education. It is his concept that he has given the curriculum, and in the curriculum he has kept child as the center. Okay. So, all the teaching learning experiences, all the activities, demonstration, teaching learning processes should be designed, should be structured as per the need, as per the interest, as per the aptitude, as per the abilities and capacities of the child. Okay. So, there shouldn't be a place in the teaching learning process just like the teacher centered approach, the autocratic approach. Rather, teachers should feel a laissez-faire type of freedom so far as education system is concerned. They should feel free to express themselves, they should feel free to act themselves, and they should feel free to react at the same time to do their work. Further, he has given emphasis on nature, I have already discussed. Then attitude to love the nature. So, friends, unless the you can say the young children, unless they develop love towards the nature, okay, appreciate the nature, the beauty of the nature, they cannot be a good learner, they cannot be a good student. So, that is why, friends, in his aims of education, he has given importance that to develop positive attitude to love the nature. Then self expression and self realization is also another two important aim of education as per Rousseau. Self expression, child should get optimum freedom to express themselves, what they think, what is their ideas, what is their ideologies, what is their concept on a particular concept, what is their concept on a particular you can say theme, a particular issue which is included in the curriculum. It may be related to any subject, and at the same time aim of education as per Rousseau is also focused upon self realization, how the child will realize themselves. Okay. So, self realization is possible when they involve themselves and when they will try to explore themselves, what is their weaknesses, what is their strong point, and what are the different potential energy, potential power, potential abilities the child is having, and that is only possible when they will introspect themselves, when they will realize themselves. So, friends, these are the certain important aims of education as per Rousseau. Further, to focus upon curriculum as suggested by Rousseau and methods of teaching as suggested by Rousseau, now let us focus upon curriculum at different stages of education and what methods of teaching Rousseau has suggested. Just like at the stage of infancy, that is from the age group 0 to 5 years, he has given importance on the curriculum, just like our curriculum component, just like development of body, that is the physical development, and development of the senses, okay, our sense organs. Then moral conversation through mother tongue should be used for conversation, and mostly at this time they should learn about the moral conversation, the duties, and what is right and what is wrong, and further debar from developing any bad habits. So, how? Because every individual child at this stage of infancy, they have just like the animal tendency. So, how to develop good habit, how to debar the child from developing any type of bad habit, especially at this stage, it should also be part of the curriculum. Okay? And methods of teaching is, first of all, training of sense organ. We have the sense organ. So, how to provide positive training to the sense organ, okay, so that the child should develop positive habits, okay, good habits. Then counseling method. So, how to counsel the child? Counseling method is not just like direct teaching, rather to interact with them, to understand their difficulties and to help the child to express themselves, what they think, what difficulties they face. So, that is why in counseling method, it may be parents, it may be teacher, it may be senior member of the family. So, what they will do? They will establish a type of rapport, they will establish a type of interaction with the child. so that the child will feel free to express themselves. And when they express themselves, then definitely you can understand their thought process, you can understand their ideas, you can understand that what they really want to do, what they really think. This is all about infancy stage. And if I will focus upon the next stage of life, that is the childhood, the age duration of this period is just like 5 to 12 years of the age. He has given importance on the curriculum component at the childhood stage, just like direct experience and observation is one of the components. Then no prescribed textbook. So here prescribed textbooks should not be given to the child, rather when they will come contact with this natural environment, to the nature, when they will observe the things, the changing and the things, what is going on in the nature, in the natural environment, they will learn themselves, and further they will get direct experience. Okay, so nobody will teach them, rather they will learn from their own observation, they will learn from their own ideas, they will learn from their own experiences, and that experiences and observations they will get from the natural environment, from the nature. And that should be the place of negative education in the curriculum. Friends, negative education is just like direct experience. When the child involved in any type of activities, and if they are feeling pain from that activities, so when they are feeling pain or getting a bad experience, they are at the same time they are also learning, because that bad experience will help them that further they will not do such type of activities again. Okay. So just like if the child is putting his or her hand to any type of burning object, so being a teacher, you need not to demand the child to do so. Let him or her to put his or her finger to the hot object, to the burning object, and when they will put, then definitely they will feel that certain pain they will feel, and for the second time they will never do that. So negative education, many philosophers and educationists, contemporary educationists, they have criticized such education process of Rousseau, but still then negative education, he has suggested that negative education should be the part of the curriculum, and further he has advocated free play, movement and action so far as our education system is concerned, so far as our activities in curriculum is concerned. Then there shouldn't be no rigid curriculum. So there shouldn't be any written and rigid curriculum. Rather, the children will develop at per their own growth and development. And being a teacher should provide the opportunity, and teacher should facilitate the learner and provide scope to the learner. Further, he has suggested the methods at the childhood stage, just like playway method, practical oriented method, self-learning method, then learning through self-experience. So how they will learn from their own experience, just like a negative experience. And many a time they may get good experience, they may get a constructive experience, and from their experience they will learn. Further, if I will focus upon curriculum and methods of teaching at the adolescent stage, that is within the age group of 12 to 15, Rousseau has given importance on the curriculum component, just like starting of the formal education. Then natural science should be the part of the curriculum, language, mathematics, computation, woodwork, music and painting should be the part of the curriculum in the formal curriculum, you can say, at the stage of adolescence. Further, active work based curriculum, it is not like only to discuss science and language, rather how to involve the child in the activities, in different types of work based curriculum, means whatever theoretical knowledge and experience they are getting, further how they will do certain activities in the natural environment on the specific thing, on the specific issue. For the learning by doing is another important aspect. Observation, inquiry and experimental method is also given importance by Rousseau at this stage. Then the next stage is the stage of youth, okay, and that is within the age group of 15 to 20 years. Here he has suggested curriculum just like moral and religious education, through actual experience, not through formal lecture. Okay, so moral and religious education, when they will involve in moral activities, when they will involve in religious activities, they will experience it and they will learn. There is no need of providing any type of formal lecture. Further education for bodily health, music and hands-on activities. So, how to involve the youth for different types of craft-centered education, different types of health education and hands-on activities. That means they will do certain things and they will learn. He has given importance on the specific method, just like the heuristic method, problem solving method, demonstration and real objects in teaching. So, how to use different types of demonstration so far as science based knowledge is concerned, and at the same time how to use different types of, you can say, artifacts or real objects in the process of teaching and learning. Further, the role of teacher as per Rousseau, he has given importance on the teacher as per Rousseau's ideas. He has considered that teacher should be just like a motivator. Teacher should motivate, should inspire the learner to come to the nature and to learn to experience new things. Then teacher as a guide, teacher should guide the students. Teacher is not just like to provide only a lecture or just like to teach the students. Rather, teacher should guide the students to help them proceed or move in a positive direction, in a right direction. Then teacher as a facilitator, teacher should facilitate the learners, help the learner. Teacher should be a stage setter. Then further teacher as a counselor, teacher should understand the child and at the same time, as per the strength, as per the abilities of the child, teacher should provide certain scope to the learner. So, here teacher is not just like a direct teacher just to teach the learners day to day, rather teacher should act as a counselor. Further, I was talking about negative education. He has given importance on negative education as a part of the curriculum. Under negative education, he has given importance on certain aspects, just like no bookish learning, learning through experience and nature. So, how to learn from the experience, how to learn from the nature by one's own experience without using the book. Okay, so that is the negative education. When we involve ourselves in the nature, many a time we may experience certain good habits, and we may experience some things which is, you can say, painful, which is not a part of positive education. But from that negative education, there is the scope that we can learn something, and next time that painful activities or painful thing the child will not do, as already they have gained pain from that experience. So, that is also a type of experience based learning. And further, provide time to the child to live and experience the nature. So, they should get enough time and to live with the nature, to come contact with the nature. Our curriculum should provide that scope to the child. Then no habit formation, so no need of forming any habit. Okay, so Rousseau has given importance in negative education. That habit will be automatic, formed when the child will come contact with the nature. So, forcefully there is no need of developing any type of habit among the child. Habit will be developed spontaneously. Then further, no social education to the child, no need of providing any type of social education. As an individual, they should get the scope for their own development. And under negative education, further he has also emphasized on no direct and moral education, no traditional education method, no strict formal discipline, learning through self experiences, feeling and realization. So, friends, how they will involve themselves in realizing themselves, in feeling themselves. So, when they will feel, when they will realize, they will develop a type of affective domain, they will develop certain positive attitudes towards their feeling, towards their emotion, towards their realization. So that's why it should be the part of education. For the women, Rousseau has given certain, for the women education, he has also stressed upon just like separate education for men and women. He has advocated that men and women are of different abilities. So that's why separate education should be implemented for the men and for the women. Study of household activities, stitching, embroidery should be the part of women education. Moral and religious education should also be the part of women education. Then women should involve in birth of children and practice them values. So how they will practice the values, at the same time how they will transmit that value education, that values to the child. So these are the certain activities, these are the certain education that Rousseau has given importance, especially for the women. And if I will go through, if I will focus upon Rousseau's contribution to education, he has given importance on child-centered education, that today in the constructivist teaching learning process, when we design a curriculum, when we practice teaching learning process, we design it, we provide a structure in the process of teaching that is based upon the children, that is based upon the learner. So that's why child-centered education is the contribution of Rousseau. Then solving problem by the children of their own. Let the children solve their own problem. Okay. Do not give optimum, you can say, security to the child. Rather, they should feel and they should act themselves in the environment, and they should adjust themselves. They should develop certain habits for developing themselves, at the same time for adjusting themselves in new situations. Further, finding truth by the children by exploring the environment. Then free and positive discipline is also another part of Rousseau's contribution to education. Then condemned imposed punishment as it destroys intellect of the child. There shouldn't be any physical punishment practiced in the teaching learning process. Then creative development of the child is also another important aspect so far as Rousseau's concept on education is concerned. And friends, these are the certain aspects today also it has its own relevance so far as our education system is concerned. In NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, you will find that most of the pedagogy, educational structure and teaching learning process that has been presented, it also touches upon Rousseau's philosophy on education or contribution to education, just like child-centered education and how to provide optimum freedom to the child for their own development, and how to help the child for their creative development, how to abolish physical punishment, and how to help the child for bringing a type of you can say discipline among them. Friends, just to recapitulate, now I am just focusing upon some of the important questions. I think after going through this video lesson and the part content which is given in your self-learning material, definitely you are able to now answer these questions. Just like explain Rousseau's philosophy and ideas of education, explain the concept of education as suggested by Rousseau, what are the aims of education as suggested by Rousseau, what should be the curriculum at and the methods of teaching at different stages of education at per Rousseau, explain the role of teacher as suggested by Rousseau, explain the concept of women education as suggested by Rousseau, exemplify negative education as suggested by Rousseau. I think these are the certain questions. Definitely you will able to answer these questions. In our next session, we will discuss other important theme of your course. Thank you.